for once in our lives, Congress is set to pass something that has been put on the back burner for, oh my God, at least 20 years. And I've talked about it on this channel about the WEP and the GPO, the windfall elimination provision, and the government pension offset. And there's been a move, a grassroots movement to repeal it. And it looks like they're on the cusp of finally getting those provisions taken or removed. In other words, repealed. And Joe Biden has gone on the record, President Biden, as favoring repeal. So now the House today voted 327 to 75 to repeal both provisions that were used. Well, the WEP was used to try to shore up any shortfall. And, you know, it's easy to fix anyway, any kind of alleged shortfall of Social Security, despite all the horse shit that Trump and company are trying to do. I don't see how they're going to get away with it, doing any of that. But that was put in there during the Reagan years. And then the GPO was put in during the Carter administration because it had to do with dual entitlement. And the fact that you can't get both a worker pension, or not a pension, but a worker benefit and a dependent benefit. That's dual entitlement. It's whatever is the larger of the two. And if you don't pay into Social Security and you work a lot of years in a government agency that doesn't pay in, you're not considered a dependent because you don't have the 40 quarters to qualify as a worker, and you're not a dependent. And so therefore it was kind of done on a sliding scale type of thing, that if you worked as a career civil service person in state and local government, say 35 years, chances are you would not be able to get any spousal or survivor Social Security. But that's probably not gonna, if they pass this, that's gonna be gone, and then you may end up having people with a pretty damn big benefit on top of their pension. So I think that's going to end up being tweaked somewhere down the road. But as it is, I will take it. I will take a repeal. You betcha. It's going to increase my Social Security $1,200 or $1,400 a year. I think $1,400 a year is what it'll increase. So it would be over or thereabouts of $120 a month, because they took a third of my pension amount that I got from Nevada, this dinky ass pension, and they applied it against Social Security. And so that will it'll make a difference for me. Anyway, so there was that. And then the big memes now, or the big crap that's going on. And I heard something about the Russians, where the Russian government was going to try to curb any kind of talk about the joys of child-free or not having kids, that they were going to penalize people to even talk about it there. Well, they do things a little more draconian there. I don't think it's going to shut anybody up or change anybody's mind about having kids. But this kind of crap, it's another guilt trip. It's guilt-tripping mostly women who don't have kids, let alone a spouse. They don't have a spouse. They're trying to guilt them into having kids. So now we're going to worry about the grief of people's parents, of people who never become grandparents. Ah, shit. Just get a goddamn life. And you know, the problem with this is, especially with women, that if they have this attitude, they never had any stinking interests outside of relationships. They never developed real hobbies. They never developed real interest. A lot of them never really went out and worked in the labor force for any length of time. And so they put all their interests in the kids. And then it's a slap in the face if the kids decide they don't want to live the way the parents lived. Hey, I went through this with my dad. And my dad, one time I was talking to my dad, and I think I was about 22 years old. So this was in the 70s. And I just happened to blurt out to him, I said, I'm not going to have any kids. And boy, he was not happy. I didn't expect that kind of reaction. I mean, he didn't beat me up or chew me out or anything. But what he said was, don't ever say that. You know, it dawned on me, even then, that he was from a completely different generation. And so if you said something like that, you're never going to have kids. And believe me, he was born in 1907, so this was a long time ago. He was already 70 years old, and I had said I wasn't ever going to have kids. But that's just something you did. It was just something everybody did. Everybody got married, everybody had kids, all this stuff. And to him, it was a slap in the face. And it was. It was a slap in the face to both parents. Because I didn't want to live like they did. I didn't want anything to do with it. Yeah, it's been hard economically. But I never wanted to live the way they did. And, you know, and here they talk about this one woman talking about her 3 children now in their 20s and 30s were young. She loved to read to them. She loved being a stay-at-home mother. There's the problem right there. No freaking interests other than relationships. There's the problem. Putting all your hopes and dreams on your damn kids. And you're going to be disappointed every freaking time. And that they are individuals with their own interests. And it just feels like I'm in a stinking time warp. So they go on about this. That's grief. There's no grief here. It's selfishness. That you're so damn self-centered about your own ego and whatever that you think that you're owed it. You think you're owed kids. You think you're owed grandkids. You think you're owed. Just everybody owes you. Nobody owes you shit. They don't owe you fuck all. And it's not grief. It's just that you don't have any stinking interests. You never developed any. And hey, there's other alternatives. Hey, I didn't have kids, but I spent 30 years of my life in education. Still doing it. I didn't have to have kids to show I cared about kids. I didn't have to prove anything. And I suggest these people get interest instead of whining that their kids won't have kids. Feeling left out without a legacy. Oh, this is so stupid. Does it really damn matter once you're dead? Whether you have a legacy? Once you're dead, you're dead. Doesn't mean squatola. And what a goddamn selfish shit. But this is all guilting mostly women, yes, some guys, into reproducing. You know, it's the new Trump era now. And women are going to have to go back into the home, and they're going to live back in the 1950s. All this bullshit. All this bullshit. And then trying to guilt women into the choices they make. Or guys, guilting them into the choices they made. I don't hear my sister, my 88-year-old sister, whining that she doesn't have grandkids because neither of her 2 sons ever had kids and never planned to have kids. And both of them are pushing 60 now. She never whined about it. She never whined about it at all. It was whatever they wanted. She did her job, raising the kids. And it was their lives. And she stayed out of their lives. And I suggest these damn busybodies stay out of their own kids' lives. And It's just the entitlement. Grieving a child's choice. This is horse shit. It makes me sick. This is the same, it's manipulative damn articles trying to guilt people into their life, to guilt people about their life choices. And anyway, so that's about all I have to say tonight.